Harvard-Yale. The game.
A ton of history, a ton of tradition.
There's an intensity about this rivalry.
It's one of the most historic games in the history of college football.
1,000 men of Harvard, one victory to date. For Harvard.
It's for the Ivy League title, but it really means a lot more than that.
And that's the ball game. Harvard wins.
Oh, never again in your whole life will you do anything so important. Storylines for the Yale-Harvard game. Saturday marks the 131st installment of the game, the third most played rivalry in D1 football. Lafayette, Lehigh, Princeton, Yale ahead of them. With a Yale victory, the Bulldogs would clinch the share of the Ivy League crown for the first time since a 2006 split with Princeton. With a Harvard win, the Crimson clinch an outright Ivy League championship for the first time since 2001. It's the little red flag. There it is. The Harvard pennant since 1884 has been waved by Harvard's most loyal fan after each score by Harvard during the game. College Game Days covering the game this week. And Tom Rinaldi joins us from Harvard. There's so much at stake for Harvard. What are they saying about it, Tom?
Well, Chris, if we back up just a second, do we dare to begin to use the D word when we discuss the Crimson? And that's dynasty. That's how good Harvard has been for the fourth time in the last 5 years, trying to win at least a share of the Ivy League title. They have been dominant defensively throughout this stand for the 27th time as they face Yale. Again, at least a share of that Ivy League title at stake, but something even more important. For the 17th time in program history, an opportunity for a perfect season.
We're very fortunate, very fortunate to have at least clinched a share of the Ivy League championship, but to have an opportunity for an outright championship, a perfect season, and the 13th win over Yale in the last 14 years would be a tremendous accomplishment for this team in general and for this senior class in particular.
Our class, to go out like this, it means the world. It's everything you've done for the last 4 years. It's everything you've done since you were in high school and grade school. It's all culminating in this game at this stage. So to have your banner up there and to have ownership of it, sole ownership of it, it means everything.
Since Coach Murphy has been here, he's only had 2 undefeated seasons. And to be the third is like, it would be a historic season. And that's what we're aiming for. That's been our goal ever since day one of this season. And to actually complete that goal and finish with a win, 10-0 on senior day, the biggest game of our careers, of our season, would just be huge.
Speaking to head coach Tim Murphy and some of the seniors on this team, they talk about how apt it is, Chris, that the Ivy League title would be decided between Harvard and Yale. In particular, when you talk to this senior class, they have been very, very strong here for the Crimson, 35-4 in their careers. They've never lost to Yale and hope they don't lose Saturday.
I think dynasty is fair then. A week ago, when Alabama took on Mississippi State, Tom, we sat here, we were talking about this matchup being strength against strength. How's this game similar to that?
It is in many ways in terms of strength. We talk about how styles make fights. A lot of times it's strength against strength that makes a memorable football game. And in this game, without question, Chris, it's the Harvard defense against the Yale offense. In the FCS, Harvard, the #1 scoring defense overall, 2nd in rushing, 9th in total defense. They're led by their outstanding seniors, Zach Hodges and Norman Hayes, their captain. Hodges, 25 sacks, the most in program history, going up against Yale's prolific offense, #1 in total offense in the FCS, #4 in scoring offense. Yale has already racked up more yards and scored more points than any other team in program history. So strength against strength, the Crimson defense against Yale's offense. It should be a good one Saturday.
Tom, we look forward to it. And game day, 9 Eastern tomorrow morning on ESPN. I want to see smart and clever signs tomorrow, Tom. Have fun.